I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club.
I was going to say, it's December.
Yeah, well.
It pretty much is December. It's December.
It's December. Oh my God. I know. I feel like when we announced this on the Instagram, like kind of, like, it's going to be December, remember?
We'll see you in December.
Yeah, we'll see you in December is what we said. A December to remember.
Ew.
Toyotathon. Is that Toyotathon? Honda?
Yeah, or Lexus does
Lexus is a December to remember. It's Lexus. That sounds more accurate.
Of course, it's very elegant.
It is. A December to remember.
Yeah, sales event
with the big bows on top of the cars.
That'd be it. Mm-hmm. So, okay, this is the season we're entering into, people.
Welcome to it.
Welcome to it. We're going to help you through it.
Oh, that was cute.
That rhymed.
I liked that.
Thanks.
That was cute. I'm into rhyming around this time of year. I'm like okay with rhyming.
Heavy rhyming this time
I love
of year.
it. I love it. It's like Dr. Seuss-ish, you know.
Yeah,
it works.
It's like, the night before Christmas.
Yeah, night before Christmas. Oh,
I know.
So cute. Nightmare Before Christmas.
And Nightmare Before Christmas. God damn, we're on a roll. I know.
I love it.
Okay, let's do a card pull and see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
We have a seasonal deck. Seasons of the Witch, Yule deck.
Yay!
Hello.
This one is so pretty.
I was trying to... never mind. I'm not going to talk about how I tried to be clever and it didn't work. Okay.
Okay, that's too bad.
I was going to say, you'll be surprised by what deck we're using.
And you said it.
I know.
And you said it.
And I flattered myself by saying that was clever, and it's not at all.
No.
It's really bad.
But, I mean, well, it's clever, but it's cringy at the same time. It can be both things.
Thank you.
It can be both. It's okay. It can
it's
be
amazing.
Both. Okay.
My best friend, people.
That's right. Never going to say bad things. So, I mean, just hold your breath. Wait for it. Never going to happen. My favorite thing about this deck, and we love these decks, and they're just beautiful and amazing, and everything is great about them. But my favorite thing about this one is the metallic green edges. I don't know if that's visible, but
it's amazing. It reminds me of those metallic gel pens that you used to have.
Those are the freaking best. When you would get like the whole 96 set or whatever they had. Those are amazing. Jelly roll pens.
Yes, gorgeous. Okay, let's get in the season. Ooh, okay. Now I'm gonna do it.
I knew you were going for that. I knew it.
It says gatherings.
Oh, I love it.
Gather, gather, festive witches. Speak of joy and drink 2 wishes. Take 1, give 2. Celebrating all blisses. That's adorable.
It's adorable, and it's rhyming as well.
And it is rhyming. The illustration is literally just like a gathering of witches. There's a fire in the middle. There's a tree. There's like a full moon. There's some snow. They're all bundled up.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Obviously seasonal. Mm-hmm. And just, anytime. Really.
And lovely. And we're going to be doing a lot of that this season.
We are. This is a busy time, people.
Yeah, a lot of fun, festive, wonderful things.
Definitely. So I really like that. And it has energy and spirit to it.
It does. It totally does. I love it.
Really enjoy. All right.
How sweet.
Very sweet. Nice card pull. How about why though?
Let's do a little why though. Why not?
Yeah, I feel like last week we took off. Thanksgiving, we skipped a week, and kind of glad because we missed a lot in terms of astrological stuff that was going on. So I'm saying I'm glad because, it was a lot, but it's also it was a lot. So we're not going to go backwards in time and cover that all. But if you've been feeling it, we get it. You've been feeling it. It's been a lot.
That full moon was something else.
It really was.
Yeah, it was.
Amongst other things. But looking ahead, moving on, what do we have coming up?
Venus is going into Scorpio.
Yes.
On the 4th, which is probably maybe around the time that this is being viewed.
Correct.
So, we're going deep. We're going dark. We're diving in. Venus in Scorpio is a very intense placement. It's a very intense feeling. It's a lot, but my one piece of advice on it is don't get too detective on everything, because that's the tendency, I think. And especially this time of year. I don't know. It's just kind of fraught, right?
No, I totally agree. And I think the bright side of this is not that it is only negative.
Of course.
Anyways, but the bright side is it's only staying there for about 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little short.
It is short.
So, just hold tight, people.
Just hold tight. I feel like, maybe because of my Scorpio-ness, I feel like the time of year that it's occurring to, like, it feels like that winter break running into that really toxic, like, ex or sort of like that person from your past or somebody from, like, high school or whatever, and you're just like, ugh. Yeah. What's happening to me? Beware
if you're, like, home for the holidays.
Yes, exactly. If you're on a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. I know. Also, Venus is just gorgeous and wonderful.
Oh, totally.
And so, no matter what sign she is filtering through,
yes,
she's great.
Yes.
So just embrace it.
Embrace it.
Reject the shadow of it, maybe, like the like tendency to like investigate and like be suspicious and like that kind of stuff, and just try to,
Yeah. And if it's, like, nostalgia or it's bringing that stuff up for you, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, listen to whatever music you have to process that or, like, whatever. Or just lean into it. Who cares? I don't know. I do.
Yeah. No, it's true. And, we have always in the sky other energies to balance out and pull from. And in your chart, you have lots of things to pull from if you need it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And certainly just even Sagittarius season overall.
Exactly. So,
cool.
All right. But I'm not mad at this. I don't hate it.
I'm not either.
So the next thing that I have here is December 6th. Neptune goes direct in Pisces. So, Neptune.
Yeah.
It's like your dreams and your like kind of, deep, but not necessarily in that like depth, like plumbing the depths. It's in the like, oh, like lovely, what is in the depths of your soul?
Waters.
Yes, the waters, the emotional, it's all whatever. I don't know, I'm saying it's so negative right now. I have no idea why. It's also in Pisces. It's been a retrograde. It's been going back and forth. Like, Neptune has a huge, long cycle. So I just feel like when there's a lot of planets in retrograde, as there have been, especially at certain times, we've covered that in the year, things can feel like pulled and wonky and kind of slow. So when planets start going direct again, things kind of speed up, things get traction, things start moving, although it's in Pisces, and Pisces is pretty slow.
Yeah, they're not one to be rushed.
No. They're just hanging out.
Yep, hanging out, doing their thing. I feel like it could be a very sort of magical thing.
Indeed.
I feel like I know that A Christmas Carol is supposed to take place on the night before Christmas, right? And then, like, the next day he wakes up and it's still Christmas and he has redeemed, whatever.
Right.
But I feel like the vibe for Neptune direct in Pisces on this day is a very, like, being visited by, like, the spirits of Christmas kind of. Like, it has, like, that magical feeling to it.
Yeah, and along with that, I love that you're pulling in that story. But there's also, like, maybe, like, some lesson or some deeper concern to be reflected and learned.
Which is, like, the whole point of that.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Charles Dickens, get out of here.
Oh, no. Now he's going to be hanging out with us now that we said his name.
I know. We always invite friendly spirits.
Yes,
especially when they're authors and they're old men. Who knows? Anyway.
They love us. That's a story for another time.
What else have you? Anything?
I mean...
Oh, I know what you have.
What do I have?
You have a last quarter moon.
I do.
Because we just had a full moon.
I do.
Okay,
I do have a last quarter moon.
I save that for you. I don't ever want to talk about the moon.
Yeah, like...
I want you to talk
I'm, like, obsessive about the quarter moons. I know, we all know. Whatever, who cares? Last quarter moon in Virgo. So, okay... I feel like this is a good opportunity to be looking at the things that we're being a little bit controlling and perfectionistic about. Who's she? Don't know her.
Yeah, don't know. Wrong number.
Don't accept that. I reject that. No, but here's the thing. You can, because Sagittarius season, again. I know that's been like my mantra for a bit, but it's true. Like, Sagittarius season, I feel like it really gives you that little bit of fire, to really,
it's true,
face these things and kind of, go through these things. So Yeah, I think pulling in that Sagittarius energy in this way to kind of look at those things that are stifling you or you're getting a little bit like nitpicky about can be a really good thing. But I also think like to not be wholly negative about it, this Virgo energy of like planning and list making and sort of doing the plans before we get to the Sagittarius new moon. That's a good idea.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah, be prepared.
Be prepared. There's nothing wrong with that. So just don't get too bogged down with it. But
yeah, well, that's always the lesson of Virgo.
Of course.
So,
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. All right. No, very good. That's excellent. That's why, though.
All right. Now it is time for, I did like a drum roll.
I know. You also took a very narrator voice.
I did. And I did like a very pregnant pause.
Yes.
Yeah. And I did it I felt like, what's the guy, David Attenborough, that does all the like nature documentary stuff? Yeah. Oh,
well,
I wish.
I was going to say, I don't know if I'd go that far, but.
Icon.
No, but you're right. It was very pointed. Okay. So what was that for?
Our big witch energy.
Yes. This is a What the Cusp episode.
Mm-hmm. It is. What the Cusp.
Scorpio-Sagittarius edition?
Uh-huh.
Holy.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like crazy. These cusps are always a wild ride. And this gonna be no exception.
No, I know. I feel like we always say this, and it always happens. We always embody the energy of whatever it is that we're discussing.
Scared of this one.
And I same, but like even when I was preparing for it, I literally was. When I was doing my notes, I was like, yeah, whatever, yeah. Can't tell me anything. And I'm like, whoa, where is this coming from? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's here, so let's talk about it.
Same. Okay, so this is called the Cusp of Revolution.
Yeah.
Say you want a revolution, right?
Totally.
Yeah, this is big.
Big.
Revolution.
That's a huge word.
Yes.
It carries a lot of weight.
It does. So what do we want to say about this?
Well, the basics are, right?
Yeah.
That it's what, November 18th to the 24th. Would you go as far to say the 24th-ish?
Yeah, no, I would. And it actually goes by degrees. So
yeah,
that's
right.
why we can include the 24th. It might not always include the 24th. It might not
always, yeah. So you want to look for 27 to 29 degrees Scorpio would be where you're at if you want to look at it in terms of degrees. Yeah, so last degrees of Scorpio, first degrees of Sagittarius. Oh, yeah, we have to say the caveat because otherwise people will get mad.
Oh, right. Okay.
People will get mad.
Yeah, so the caveat is that when we're talking about cusps, in your birth chart, you're one sign. No matter when your birthday is, in a cusp period, you're the sign that you are based on the date and time that you're born.
Exactly. Even if it's the last minute of that sign, you're still it.
Exactly. And the cusps represent a transference of energy that does not take place like a light switch in 1 second.
Exactly.
But you are still just the sign that you are. And you can claim a cusp because I think cusps are real.
They are.
But it doesn't make you both signs.
No, you're not a 50-50 combination.
Or a 90-10 or any other thing.
Exactly. It's not some cutoff thing. I like that you say a transference. That's like a really good way of putting it.
Oh, thank you.
Because you have shades of the other sign that is nearby you, and you have planets, neighboring planets that are close in that sign, and so you're going to have a lot of that energy coloring your chart, and that's all that it means. So don't add us and just stop it.
Yes. I hate it when people are like, I don't believe in cusps. I'm like, well, they don't believe in you.
They don't like you. Especially this one. This one would be like, oh yeah? The door is there.
So this cusp.
Right?
Yeah. No, it is. So, okay, we got the dates. We got the,
the caveat.
Yes, we got the caveat. I think we've already implied this. This is a rebellious, no nonsense, doesn't give a shit kind of a cusp.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, it's that passion and loyalty and resolve of Scorpio with the vision and the forwardness and the courage of that fiery Sagittarius sign.
Definitely.
Amazing.
It's pretty amazing. And so I'm going to bring up, as As I do, the lifespan age number.
I love this part.
This is really, really significant. I mean, it is in all of them, blah, 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 whatever. This one is the one we're talking about. Okay. Look at me, how sassy.
I know, do you see?
We're just pulling it in. I love it. Okay. We're wild. Okay, so the lifespan thing is based on the entire zodiac wheel, likening that to a lifespan.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. This total is 84 years. So right now we're at age 56.
Love it.
What's happening at this age? One, it is your second Saturn return, according to your natal chart. This is a big time of life.
Yeah.
It certainly doesn't mean that if you're born in this cusp, you have any more or less, importance to that Saturn return.
Oh, right. Exactly.
It's simply to say that lifespan age energy that's represented in this cusp is the one of your second Saturn return. So your Saturn return, the first one and the second one, are times of huge transformational, revolutionary change in your life. And in the first one, you're in your late 20s. And then this next one, you're around this age, 55, 56, depending. So this is a time when people are at a very different stage of life, right?
Yeah.
And their life is changing.
Yeah.
And in a traditional way, which might not always apply to modern people, like this is a time when maybe people are considering retiring.
Yes.
Or going into a really high level of authority in a career that they've been in for like 30 years or something like that.
Yep.
This is a time when maybe people's children are grown up.
Right.
And they're no longer a parent in the way that they were when they were raising their children.
Right.
They might even be experiencing grandchildren, which makes them a grandparent and really changes the focus of the family dynamic. This might also be a time when people are finding themselves single.
Yeah.
After maybe a divorce, a relationship that was not working, or even the death of a spouse or something like that starts to happen. So this is a time of huge shifts, of life-changing changes.
Yes. Yeah. And I think too, obviously, as it goes on, there's more wisdom that's added and everything like that, of course.
Yes.
But I feel like this time is a combination of still being somewhat youthful.
Yeah, it's not that old.
It's not that old, but also really knowing exactly what you want for you're starting to think about the rest of things, right? Those are the conversations you're starting to have is well, for the remainder of the time I have, or sometimes that's more immediate and sometimes it's in the future, but that's where the shift is taking place.
Definitely. You're looking at less than half of your life in front of you and more than half of it behind you.
Right. Yes. And so it's really weeding out the things that you don't care about, aren't serving you, whatever, and focusing on the things that, and I think people really do start to focus on their legacy, whatever that may mean to them at this time. And that's this energy of this cusp, because it is very much about what is my impact? What am I doing?
Yes. And this is where what you're talking about is what you see in the interpersonal becoming the transpersonal.
Right.
In terms of where we are in that larger zodiac cycle, and even, the signs themselves that we're looking at here, Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Right.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Quite fascinating.
Yeah.
I also want to say we've already covered the other times that water meets fire.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The zodiac. So that's what's happening here. Scorpio going to Sagittarius. The other times that we have already covered are Cancer to Leo.
Right.
And Pisces to Aries.
Yeah.
So these are all very different transitions.
Oh my gosh, so much.
And that's the reason that I'm bringing it up, is what we have here is this cusp of revolution, which is a big, and you could easily argue a revolution is not calm and could perhaps be violent or disruptive.
Yeah.
But I think there is also a wisdom that's involved in a revolution. It's a plan.
Yeah.
It's a this stuff needs to change.
Yeah.
And when we contrast that with the Cancer-Leo cusp, that cusp of oscillation, which is very oh God, I don't know which way to go, and that's that first Saturn return time of life. And then we contrast that with the Pisces Aries, which is rebirth, which is a really dramatic blending of the, old, like, consciousness and the expansiveness of the universe with, like, little new baby knowledge.
Yeah.
So anyways.
That's like a rougher... Yeah, that is a more dramatic sort of, like, change, where this shift feels like it just is going into overdrive. It feels like the same thing, just heightened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. It
Yeah.
just adds, like, a fieriness to that. Because, people often mistake Scorpios for a fire sign. That's like a very common thing that people say because of that passionate nature, right? Which is understandable, and I think that's why this feels that way, because it's like it's taking that, but it's really making it that fire sign energy.
Yes, and you know what else I'm thinking? Like, I know when we've talked about various of the other cusps, like, there's like a power struggle with one leading into the next.
Totally.
And I don't think there's that here at all.
No, I don't either. I wouldn't say that it's quite like a power struggle thing. It might be a little bit moving out of like a comfort zone in a way, but it's not like I absolutely don't want to do that. It's very aligned.
Yes, I think that it's really a collaborative kind of dynamic with Scorpio and Sagittarius. And it's almost like they're really just melding into each other at that point before they separate,
I think the only part that would get tripped up is depending on how much of what's there, Scorpio not wanting to be that outward and not wanting to be that bold, and maybe struggling with, the desire between that, like wanting to kind of keep it to themselves, but also a little bit of that desire to kind of share it. That could be where it gets a little bit tripped up for me.
No, I think you're right. And I think that's why inherent in this cusp is this like rebelliousness against authority that we were talking about.
Totally.
And at the same time, if a person in this cusp gets to a place of power or authority, I feel like they wield that very carefully, very thoughtfully, because they're still in touch with that Scorpio-ness of like, I'm not up here trying to be in front of everybody all the time.
Exactly.
Like, I'm reluctantly going to be a leader, but that reluctance comes from a place of not wanting to actually dominate people.
Yeah, that's so true.
So it's like a really nice kind of power or use of authority, I feel like. But I think it's informed by that kind of that you were talking about with the Scorpio-ness.
Yeah, like not wanting to be like the center of attention, or not really being like power hungry.
Exactly.
Or whatever,
Exactly. And I don't think Sagittarius is power hungry either.
No, I don't feel that way either. I think that there's like a competitiveness inherent, but I think it's more with themselves than anything else. I think it's like this drive to be better and to do things better and to be better and to kind of like, it's that drive to be expansive, right? And to expand their mind and the way they think, and like the pressure is more inward. And certainly for Scorpio, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, and not only is it internal, but it's a way of almost wanting to be an ideal of that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in prior cusps or even prior signs, we can see there is just a desire for power and for like the assertion of oneself.
Totally.
Not to name names, but I think here it really is informed by this transpersonal going into like a larger consciousness.
Definitely.
Like, I'm not here for me, I'm here for the collective. And that increases as we go through the zodiac after this too.
Absolutely. It's very powerful.
But I also think there's like a wildness.
Oh, yeah.
And a rebelliousness again.
There's a
lot of energy.
Rebellious streak here.
Yeah.
It is really, I mean, I'm just thinking of like elementally, right? Like fixed water.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Ruled by Pluto or Mars, depending on what you're looking at, right? But both like, okay, intense. And that is combined with mutable fire.
Right. Which is hella wild.
And governed by Jupiter. So it's like this, like, fixed, passionate, strong Mars. This is what, it's all about with this mutable, fiery, expansive Jupiter energy. Whoa.
No, I think you're right. And I love that you named all that stuff, because I think like the fixed and mutable and cardinal energies, as they play differently into the different cusps that I was just naming, the other water fire exchanges.
Oh, that's so true.
This is where you see why they're different.
Yes.
Too.
Oh, that's so true.
I'm really glad that you mentioned that. It sounds so academic.
Yeah, it does.
It's very Sagittarius.
It is very Sagittarius.
Yes, all philosophical and learning and shit.
Right? Love that. They love that.
They do love that.
It's great.
No, but I think you're totally right. There is a lot of, and those planets are outer planets. Actually, Mars isn't, but
Right.
Mars is kind of the traditional ruler of Scorpio. It's no longer considered the main or only ruler of Scorpio. So we got Pluto, we got Jupiter, we got big, we got far.
Yeah, big, far, just huge, big energy.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
I feel like I wouldn't mind. So some of these cusps, look, okay, I'm a Leo, whatever, love it, right? Love being Leo. But some of these other cusps, I would listen or hear us talking or read about it, and I'd be like, oh God, I'm so glad I'm not.
Yeah.
I would not mind being here.
I would not mind. I would not mind at all.
Wouldn't mind at all.
It's a pretty amazing, it's something I feel like it just really, like the cusp and the two kind of like energies, and look, they're complex within each other, but the two kind of energies, they just really enhance each other so well.
Yes, totally.
Like Scorpio needs a fire. They need that. I mean, there is that deep empathy, compassion, passion, all that. It's lovely, but so often it is hidden under the bushel and just isn't given that spark. And Sag really gives it that, not just spark, but also a playfulness, a creativity. It's that fire sign energy. It's that living in the moment vibe too, which I think lightens Scorpio. Even that sounds a little weird because it's not a light energy, but
no, but it brings it up and out from the depth.
It lights it.
Yes.
It sheds light. I don't know.
Yes.
And that's like what, in order for Scorpio to really shine in the ways that they want to, and like want to impact others and everything like that, like they need that to do it. And this is giving the opportunity. I don't know. It's just, it's really cool.
I think it's really cool too. I think it's like a big, big energy, like we were saying, but it's also like somewhat of a quiet energy at the same time. I feel like there is this wildness, this rebelliousness, but like as we're talking about that lifespan being like in your mid 50s, you're not that impulsive, kind of like teenage energy.
Right.
You have that wisdom, you have that lived experience that gets you to know how to contain and direct that rebelliousness and that wildness in a way that you're going to like achieve something, achieve a revolution, right?
Yes. And I love too, like, I feel like you're going to achieve it because of the wisdom and the creativity that you have with that Sagittarius energy. Like Sagittariuses love adventure. They love a risk. They're more social, right, than Scorpio.
Right.
They're the connectors more than Scorpio is.
Totally.
So it's bringing everyone together in such a unique way that's where you're like achieving things, because you're really reaching people.
I know. I'm smiling because I'm thinking about my celebrities.
Oh, I love it. I love this part.
And so the one that's coming to mind, why I'm smiling as you're talking right now, is Miley Cyrus.
Oh, that's so accurate.
It's so perfect for her.
Oh my God. It really, really is perfect for her.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. On that note, look up the caption that she wrote when she posted the picture where she met Jamie Lynn Spears.
Oh.
I can't say it, but just look it up.
I wish I already knew what it is.
I'll tell you after this.
Okay.
It encapsulates this perfectly, and you'll love it.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're going to laugh really hard. Just look it up.
That's amazing. Okay, yeah, look that up. Okay, so we have Miley Cyrus. We have Jodie Foster.
Oh, my goodness, I love Jodie Foster.
Now, the thing that's remarkable about Jodie Foster, if you don't already know who she is.
Right.
She has been, like, a Oscar-nominated movie actor since she was, like, 12 or something. Like a child.
Yep.
And played a lot of controversial roles, is lesbian, had a crazy stalker who like,
that's right.
Yes. So, I mean, she's this very like charismatic person, but this very like self-contained person. Like she is not flashy. She is not out there publicizing her life. She doesn't want someone stalking. I mean, nobody wants someone stalking them, but you know, it was just like the weirdest thing for her, you know, and like so terrible. So anyway, Jodie Foster. Got a couple other ones, and these ones are interesting too. So Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, I freaking love Jamie Lee Curtis so much.
She has a quick and dirty mouth, and she will say whatever she wants.
She really will.
Remember, I mean, all those memes of her like having lunch with someone, and she's like talking to them, she's like yelling at her, and she's doing this, and it's like, yes, I don't even know what that was about. I don't even care. Love her. She's fantastic.
She is, and I've heard that she, of course, this is just conjecture, but I've heard that she defends people, like she has stepped in.
I've heard that too.
If you cross someone that she cares about, like you're done.
Yeah. No, yeah. I've heard that too. She is highly dedicated to her craft as well. Much, yeah. She doesn't care if she looks unappealing or ugly on screen, which a lot of actresses do. Anyway, Colin Hanks.
I love him.
And I love him too. But the main reason when I read him, I thought Miley Cyrus, Colin Hanks, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right.
They're all like basically what we call Nepo babies now, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They're people whose parents were already famous in the industry.
Right.
But have made a full-on name for themselves.
Totally.
In a very unique way that is not like replicating whatever their parents
not at all.
Did before them. So I thought that was also very Scorpio-Sagittarius cusp energy for all three of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love all of those people, and it makes so much sense that I do, because it's just such a dynamic cusp. There's so much to it.
And the last one I just have to say, because I feel like you have to, is Joe Biden. So he is our current president, if you didn't know. And I kind of struggled with how to apply all of this energy to him because obviously, don't know him personally.
No.
I think when he was younger, he was probably different.
Probably.
In a lot of ways.
I imagine. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it kind of plays in a weird way with like this trajectory to his presidency.
That's true.
Of like there was a time when people wanted him to run and he couldn't. He had personal tragedies. And I don't know. I felt like somehow I did connect the dots with it. And I'm not sure that I fully have, but I just feel like I had to mention it because he's a really significant figure.
Yeah, that is significant for sure.
So
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So anyway, this cusp gives you a lot of variety.
It really does. That is a lot. And I am so here for it. I feel like I've been channeling this energy and I am not mad at it.
No, I actually kind of love it. And I might start telling people that my birthday is November 21st.
I love that. It's perfect.
I'm just going to take it. Is there more to say on this lovely cusp? I mean, or are we about done?
I think we're about to. We could, go on. But
we can always go on. But no, I think that can wrap up our big witch energy.
I agree. Agreed.
Now
it's time for
Spell of the Week.
Love it.
Spell of the Week. Okay, so this spell gets a different theme song every week.
I know, I love
this spell of the week is called Night Magic.
Oh, I already love it.
Okay, so I know we have talked about, and everyone's aware, like, it's dark at like 4:45. Yep. It's like, we want to be inside, we want to be cozy. Okay, but this spell is sort of challenging you to look at the night in a different way.
Okay.
So rather than coming inside and like bundling up and just being like, I can't go out there, because that's like literally me.
Yes.
What you need for this, you need salt, you need a candle, or incense. I would recommend a black candle if you have one, but if you don't, it's okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up your candle or incense and your salt. You are going to just make your little circle, but you're going to reserve some of the salt to carry.
Okay.
Or you can put it in a bag. And you can light the candle or light the incense if it is safe to do so, because the suggestion is for you to light it and then leave it.
Okay.
If it's not safe for you to leave it because you have pets or because whatever reasons, you don't have to light it. And that's why I also suggested incense. Incense is usually pretty safe to leave lit.
Yeah.
Because it's not an open flame, But anyway, it's up to you at your discretion. So if you light it or not, that's okay. But what you're going to do is you're going to just set up that little stuff and you're going to leave it.
Okay.
You're doing this at night, after dark.
Okay. After 4 o'clock, apparently.
It's called night magic. And what you're going to do is just going to go outside.
Okay.
And you're either going to, depending on, what your neighborhood allows or whatever, you're going to go on a walk. Or you're going to stand in your yard or on your porch or whatever you have. And you're just going to observe and take in the nighttime. You're going to breathe, inhale the night. You can look at the stars. You can be bundled up against the cold as you're doing this. I would really recommend walking if you can. 10, 15 minutes. And then you're going to take your salt that you reserved. And as you're walking, or even if you're not walking, if you're just standing, you're just going to occasionally drop some of the salt.
Okay.
So you're going to drop it along the path that you're walking or just kind of sprinkle it around wherever you're standing. And when you've soaked all of that night in, you're going to come inside. If you lit your candle, you want to make sure you blow it out. If you didn't light it, you can now light it when you are inside and let it burn for a few minutes safely. Let the incense burn out all the way. And that is the end of the spell.
I love that. I like it because, I like it for a lot of reasons, but, I had one question, and then I'm going to say why I like it for all the reasons. My one question is, could you light this or put this outside, like on the porch area, and then walk away from it?
That's an amazing idea.
Okay, cool.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's a great idea.
I like that. Okay, that's
that
cool, because I'm thinking like maybe like absorbing it in. And then I like it because it goes along with the season really well, because I think even though we don't want to be outside and it's cold and all that stuff, sometimes what pulls us outside is like decorations or lights or something.
That's true.
And so like it doesn't have to be about that, but if you're like out doing that, you can also sort of like pay attention to the natural beauty that's around, like in addition to that. And it can be like all part of that. I really like that so much.
Yay. So that's
so sweet.
I know. I like it too. That is night magic, and that is your spell of the week.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
So with that, I think that about wraps up this whole episode. What do you think?
It does. That was a fun, sassy adventure.
It really was. I know. I loved it. I feel like I'm going to hold on to this one for a while.
Same.
So
yes.
Until next time.
Stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.
Dumb Witch Club is written and produced by us, Ashley Sidner.
And Jackie Gerard at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
Produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer. Creative Director and Culture Consultant, Violet Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. And look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.